Shelley Winter. Shelley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant. So this weekend, Saturday, I came downtown to do the Car Guy show. And then that evening, Saturday night, I went to a great dinner, the Crystal Ball, the Arthritis Foundation annual big fundraiser for the Arthritis Foundation here in Georgia. Wonderful event. Shout out to Stacy Courtney. Always invites me, and I had a wonderful time. But before I get into this issue, can I say something? So I've gone to this event. I went solo this past Saturday. I've got to say this. Stacy Courtney, right? She is one of the board members. So every time I go, she introduces me to another friend of hers, her what you would call her crew. She's a married woman, got kids, good, beautiful son is like 6'3", her daughters, beautiful children, her husband's wonderful guy, handsome guy and everything. And Stacy, she's been on the show before, very beautiful, very statuesque, very lovely woman. All her friends are the same. They're all fine. I mean, all married. I'm not hitting on them or anything. I'm just saying it's just one. Like, you could see that these guys are very blessed men. You know what I mean? But, you ever see, like, AMAC has friends like this. There's a group of them, and they're all good looking. You know what I mean? Like, so when they hang, you're like, I kind of don't want you really to hang with your friends. Because they're all fine. But shout out to Stacy and all of her friends. But I went to the event Saturday night. Great dinner, great event. They raised a ton of money. It's a great cause. By the way, just really quickly, the reason why I needed a hip replacement is because I was bone on bone, and the reason why I got the bone on bone is because of arthritis. That's what gives you it. It's an arthritic hip. That's why I needed a new one. So Arthritis Foundation is a very good cause. And so go to arthritisfoundation.com or .org. I'm not sure which one. And see what you can do to help out. Volunteer, help out, donate, or whatever. But let me continue on. So I did that Saturday night. And so when I got home Saturday night, I just went home, got to bed, went to bed, watched some Netflix, watched some movies, all kind of stuff. I saw my news feed popped with shootings at 2 HBCUs and at a high school. Mississippi, they had a high school in a small town of 3,600 people. They had a mass shooting. Couple shootings in Mississippi. I think it was a couple shootings at the HBCU. Which one was it? One was Albany State. One person dead, 5 injured. And this happened all over the weekend. And then I get up on Sunday morning, and I'm scrolling through, and I see several friends of mine, Democrat friends of mine, who had posted on their Facebook pages about MLK King Center Eternal Flame defiled. And several of them all said the same thing. And about all of these shootings, the Mississippi shooting at a high school reunion, the Mississippi shooting at another high school, the shooting at Albany State, the shooting at the other school, HBCU, all of these are happening at homecomings, either for high school or college. Shootings. Not one guy on another guy, shootings. And so all my friends, and when the King Center Eternal Flame was defiled, here's what happened. Somebody destroyed or tried to destroy, vandalized the Eternal Flame. That's where if you go to the King Center, there's a flame always burning for Martin Luther King. It's always burning. And so this was happening, and he also urinated in a reflecting pool. That's what he did. So I saw several of my friends, particularly here in Georgia, who said, basically, one form or another, they said, this is violence. That's what they said. The shootings, they believed, were done by others. And all of this, and I thought to myself, where is it that we are so consumed, Democrats, African-American Democrats, are so consumed with MAGA that anything that happens bad has to be MAGA? And when I saw these stories, I immediately, I know what this is. Auburn Avenue. I know what this is. You ever been to Auburn Avenue on a Saturday? There's very few MAGA types walking down Auburn Avenue on Saturday, going to the reflecting pool to relieve themselves and destroying the eternal flame. I knew exactly what it was. But my friends, Democrats, the media even talked about these stories as if, they didn't leave it, they didn't say it purposefully, but they left it out there that it could potentially be racially motivated. Because that's what moves people now. Because everything is racially motivated, except the things clearly that are not. And if you want to know how the media is slightly dishonest, is that they will talk about these stories until they find the suspect, and then it goes away. In the Leland High School shooting, they got a 17-year-old kid. 17-year-old kid shot up a high school homecoming. 17. In a college, they have 4 suspects. I saw the picture. The FBI released pictures. One guy's picture has him holding up a gun, firing it blindly. And I'm thinking to myself, who does this? But I'm also thinking to myself, why is the knee-jerk reaction has to be, this is MAGA? These are racially motivated. Because what happens is when you think that's it, for instance, when they found out that Trent, what's his name here? Brent Jones, when they find out it wasn't a white MAGA guy that drove down to relieve himself in a reflecting pool at the King Center, or destroyed or tried to or vandalize the eternal pool, or eternal flame, when they realize that it's not a white guy creating violence with his actions, and they realize it's a homeless African-American male, what happens? Then you move on. You don't care about the story anymore, but you should. All the reactions that you had about it being racially motivated, all the pain that you felt, this is Martin Luther King's special place, this is the King Center, how could you do that? All of those feelings should be the same no matter who did it originally. You should still have the same feelings. They should not go away. In Mississippi, when you find out it's a 19-year-old kid that killed 4 people and wounded more than a dozen others, in a small town where everyone knows each other, you should feel the same way. The same painful feeling should flow through your body. It should not change. That's the problem. The problem is that if your reaction is anger, but it goes away when you find out the perpetrator looks like you, then it's silly, and it will never change. My point here is, if you were angry before you found out who relieved themselves in a reflecting pool or who vandalized the eternal flame, if you were angry at the fact that a high school shooting at a high school reunion, homecoming, there was a shooting that killed, if you're angry at Albany State, if you're angry at all these things, you should be more angry. You should be angrier, when you find out that the perpetrators looked like you. Because when you're angry at somebody else for racial reasons, and it turns out to not be one of those situations, and you find out the person who did all of this looks like you, you should be angrier. You should be louder. Not shirk back, shrink back, and disappear and not say anything more, because the behavior will never, ever change. The Shelley Winter Show. We'll be right back.